fancy kings and queens. I wanted to have a Forex minute with you just to allow you into my space for a while to just kind of connect with you. I know usually we're on the charts and I'm analyzing things, but just coming to you as a person to person, I wanted to just take you on the journey that I've been on during my Forex journey. So I've been trading for a little over 2 years, I believe. And man, it's been a journey. I started off trading stocks and currencies and things, not necessarily Forex, but I was able to get into the knowledge of Forex. Initially, it looked kind of intimidating, so I didn't gravitate to it. But eventually, I had the opportunity to, break it down, because Forex is unlike stocks. You can't just look at it, get the dollar amount, and just decide right then whether or not you want to get in and do whatever you do with it. Forex, you have to break it down. You got to get the lot sizes. You got to figure out your risk management. You got to, compare that to what you have in your account. You got to know your leverage amounts. It's just a lot involving Forex. So for those of you that were like me and potentially became intimidated by Forex, and for those of you that are still in the journey and just not seeing yourself where you figure you need to be at this point in time, I just wanted to make this video to tell you not to give up. My journey with Forex was, and it should be for everybody, a personal one, because not only does it deal with teaching you how to trade and teaching you discipline and making sure you follow your plan, it deals with things that you struggle with internally as a person. So as you continue to critique what you're doing in the Forex world, as you continue to strive towards your goals, as you continue to struggle and sometimes get mad and quit for a time or two, and then come back to it, or take a break, should I say. I just wanted to make this video to encourage you, to let you know that if you continue on this journey, no matter how intimidating, no matter how frustrating, no matter how hard, no matter how time consuming, no matter how undisciplined you are, I just wanted to encourage you that if you don't give up, if you just do not give up, no matter how long it takes, you will become successful in Forex. There's some things that you're going to have to change about yourself, about the things that you do, about the people that you're around, just about, digging deep inside of yourself and becoming the person that you need to be in order to be a successful trader and just successful in general. There's a reason why the one percenters are the one percenters. Is because they act and do things differently than most. So just stick with it. I believe that in my trading journey, in the times that I've been undisciplined, and we all have some form of undiscipline in this process, whether you've been trading for 1 year or whether you've been trading for 20 years. There's times when your emotions can get in the way, and there's times when it's just, not a good trading day, not a good trading week. And I just want to, just put y'all on this book, Trading in the Zone, that I've had. And as you can see behind me, I have lots of books in the back that I read. But there's some books that I continue to come back to refresh my knowledge, to remind me of where I am in the journey, and to sometimes give me encouragement. I think my breaking points when I started becoming profitable was what I used to do is binge watch other YouTubers. I wouldn't have the strategy that I'm using. I would move from using my strategy to whatever I'm watching, because I just see all the glitz and glamour of their strategy and how they're living. It's nice to enjoy the perks of trading and what trading can do for you, but when you start focusing on the materialistic and the money and the things associated with what's coming once you become disciplined and profitable, then it really just gets in your head and it just puts you in a mindset that you necessarily don't need to be in while you're trading. So Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas, as I've continued to encourage those that are new in trading or whether you're a seasoned trader, this book speaks volumes. This book hits every area of what a trader needs to be in the market and how they need to think as a trader and how the psychology needs to be. It hits so hard on that. It talks about the emotions and the attachment of the emotions when you're in the market. You need to be able to go from one trade to the next and not have those emotions attached, and you need to not have fear in the market, and it teaches you the mechanics mentally of removing fear from losing your last trade before getting in your next trade. It allows you to be a fluid, dynamic individual and trader. So I think that's kind of why this book sticks with me, because, you know, over the years we grow and mature, but there's just some things that culturally or however you were raised, there are some things that you just will not get that if you read this book, you'll pick up. And once you start practicing and putting these things into action, it's amazing what you'll see in your trading. So once again, this is just, it was supposed to be a Forex Minute, but I just wanted to encourage you, don't give up. Struggle, blood, sweat, and tears. If you're working 2 or 3 jobs and still trying to trade, continue to do that. That is going to necessarily build your character. It's going to show what type of person you are. And then once you are a trader, you can pass those characteristics on to your loved ones. You can build generational wealth. And I'm telling you, if you're struggling with the discipline part, get real with yourself. Accept the market for what it is. Get in the market. Don't try to go to the market and get what you want out of it. Make yourself available. That's also in this book. Make yourself available to the market and take what it gives you. A lot of times we allow the greed and things to get into our space, and we want to do a 1 in 9 RR. And it's just not giving. So just get in the market, make yourselves available. And that's like making yourselves available to the universe. It's like making yourselves available to whatever the universe has for you, but you still working hard at doing what you desire or what you dream to do. That's what you need to do when you get in this market. Don't think you're going to outsmart it. Don't think you're going to go in there and trick the market. The market does not care who you are. It does not care how much money you have invested in it. It is a market and it is going to do what it's going to do. It's unpredictable. Don't have expectations going into the market. Go into the market, trade your plan, stay disciplined, use great risk management, and I'm here to tell you, you'll be quite successful. This is a Forex Minute. Have a great day, kings and queens, and I'll see you next time. Hey, currency kings and queens, welcome back. I wanted to go over some of the trades that I took this week and see if we can kind of vibe with the trade analysis for this Saturday morning. I hope y'all's week went well. I hope everybody had a blue or a green week, whatever you trade. I just wanted to go over some trades I took. I had a pretty good week, actually. It's kind of been a better week than normal. So I wanted to share some of the trades I took. Typically, I stick with gold, but I traded some pairs this week, so it ended up on the good side. So let's go over a few of the ones that I actually traded. And also, I want to show you a journaling software that I'm currently using that has turned my trading from, having me not be as secure in, when you're trading, you have to have a type of energy with that trading to know that you're doing something. So if you're not journaling, you can't really see where you are. If you're not journaling, you can't even see if you're progressing the right way. If you're not journaling, you can't see if what you're doing is actually working on a long time frame. I mean, you can, short term be able to say, hey, I'm winning at this, I'm not winning at this. But if you stretch it out, if you journal, you can stretch it out over however long you journal, to where you can see whether it's an emotional thing, whether it's psychological, whether it's your strategy. And you give yourself enough time for that strategy to build and for you to get secure in knowing that what you're doing is working. So everybody needs to be journaling. If you're not, then you need to really look into it, because it has changed my trading from what I thought was not really a good, stable trading to something where I can say, oh, okay, I'm really doing good in this, but I can work on this. So not all trading journals have to be a paid service or web-based. You can get Excel spreadsheets that they sell for a one-time fee, or you can pay a monthly membership. With Edgewonk, let me go ahead and go over that with y'all. So I'm trading with this software. It's called Edgewonk. I've done some research and some other things, and I just kind of ended here because most of the other services that I was interested in had a monthly fee. But in Edgewonk, you can, whether you're trading Forex, stocks, futures, crypto, CFDs, you can use this platform, and depending on what broker you use, or app or whatever, you can actually it has a wide range of those. And since I use MetaTrader 5, that's kind of what I integrate into this trading system. So as far as the pricing, well, let's look at the features first before I get to the pricing, honey, because I think this will blow you out of the water. So it works for all markets. Like I showed you, they do have journal and diary, and you can set that journal and diary to where, specifications. If you want to track how your emotions are, if you want to track whether you're at work trading or you're off trading at home, or if you want to track whether you followed your rules, whether you want to track if you didn't follow your rules, whether you want to track if, I don't know, the sun was shining or if it was nighttime. It tracks whether you want whether you're trading certain sessions or not. So it gets down to where you can actually analyze. It has it works on all devices, so it's cloud-based, and you can log into your journal from anywhere. So when it's cloud-based, as you know, whatever data you put in, it transfers that data into whatever you're logging in, whether it's your phone or something else. I just like it because it's versatile. You can track whether or not your actual performance or what your potential performance. It tells you where you are now and where you can be if you followed your rules, and it even has a back test feature on here. So if you want to have fun with it, you can track your milestones, because it'll track whether you're a sniper or bulletproof. It just takes you into the different stages that we all desire to be as a trader. It lets you know that you're progressing. If you're not progressing, it gives you a heads up so that you can fix that. So that's what I like about it. There's a future simulator you can put in there once there's enough data that you put into the system. And you can have more than one journal if you have more than one trading account. You can compare graphs, the graph charts and everything. If you missed your trade, it gives you analysis on your missed trades. It lets you see your drawdown, your average win and losses, and it lets you see why those losses occurred if you put that data in. So it's real specific about what you need for your plan. It is a one-stop shop as far as I'm concerned for my journaling. So I hope y'all can find some use. I hope you can get into scaling in and scaling out. Emotional analytics, it has a tilt meter to where if you put whether you're emotional, you have to be honest with yourself on this app so that it can give you the data that you need. But if you're honest, it gives you real, true, live data. It lets you track trades as far as whether you're being disciplined and whether your discipline is efficient. So it gives you that foundation that you need in order to be an effective trader. So my advice for this software, when I first started looking about the equity and the drawdown and your win weight over time, and you can do it by the week, the month, or I think the weekly, the monthly, and it might be the overall. That's what it is. So just see if y'all can go to edgewonk.com, and I'm not getting any kind of advertisement or any promo for this. I'm just telling you what works for me. And being that this software is so user friendly, it kind of, when I got into it and started using it, I was like, oh yeah, this is it for me. So talking about the pricing, $169, that's what I paid. $169 one time. But it is an annual membership, so it's not month to month, but you'll have to pay $169 a year. Like I said, with all of these benefits in this software, it has light mode, dark mode, support. I've not used support yet, but everything else on this software that I've been able to engage has worked. So look into this. If you think it'll work for you, no doubt. I'm the one that's saying, hey, get this. You could use it. It works for me. Let's get back to the chart, y'all, and I'll let you see one of the trades I took with SPX. So I looked at SPX and I noticed that for me during the week, it was trending up. So the S&P 500 was trending up. So I was like, okay, well, let me get into this. When I saw that it had some areas here that it may have been supporting. So I saw an advantage. See how it dropped below the structure, the previous structure. I don't know if it was a liquidity grab here, but I was able to get in and ride that down. So I got a pretty good return on that. But I'm also looking at, I was sticking with it. For me, like with gold especially, I'll get in a trade, and if that trade plays out, whether I win or lose, as long as I'm sticking to my rules, I'll continue to analyze that chart, looking for other opportunities in the future. I don't necessarily jump in. I always evaluate and analyze, but I do stick with that chart because once you start knowing how a currency moves, it prepares you for the setup of what's to come. So always try to get familiar with at least focusing, especially if you're a new trader, focus on either one pair or one indice or whatever you trade. Focus on one. Become really good at that one, and then once you become good at that one, expand your knowledge to the other pairs. A lot of people trade NAS. I got to be in the mood to trade NAS and US 30. I won't say I'm afraid to trade anything because it's too volatile, because I'll trade mostly any type of pair or indice or anything. It's just that it has to be moving the right way for me. It's kind of like that guy when you get ready to pick the guy out of your dreams and y'all are kind of meeting for the first time and you vibe and you want to try to watch him and get to know his habits and see if that habit fits into your lifestyle. Well, with trading and candlesticks, especially since I do price action, I want to see how it moves. I want to see if it's going to throw a lot of things that are telling or if it's going to give me some false moves. Always remember that the lower the time frame, the more noise. If you trade on the higher time frames, I'll say 30 minutes and up, then it kind of starts to cut the noise out, so there's not as much junk in the charts that you have to weed through. But if you're a scalper, you have to get in and get out. You cannot get emotionally attached to these trades. Get in and get out. Set your risk manager, your stop loss. If it's a hard stop loss, if you're a little flexible with it, but just set it. a lot of times. And then with the higher time frames, it gives it time to play out, so you can see, hey, do I need to get out of this trade? How's this next candlestick printing? But when you're on the minute, anything from the minute to the 5 to 15 minute, you got to move with it. So you need to learn to be dynamic. You need to learn to change with the market. Don't just be stuck. If we have addictive personalities, I learned that in trading, if you have an addictive personality, it's going to be a little hard, but you need to break that in order to be able to be successful and see some return. A lot of times we like to, what I call, marry these trades. Don't marry the trade. Especially if you're a scalper, you want to get in and make your money. This book, that book that I was telling you about earlier, it explains it all in depth. So I just wanted to come and just be transparent. I have not really talked a lot about that. We've just been doing analyzing charts mostly since I've been on. But there's a wealth of information in what I have and what I can give to you. If you have not subscribed to this channel, make sure you hit the subscribe and the notification button. And there's one more trade that I wanted to go over. For next week, I'm going to be watching S&P. And actually, if y'all can look at the market, I don't know what time frame you all trade on, but there are a lot of potential good setups. I know there was a point in time when we couldn't find any setups and you had to look and look and look, and then some people would end up forcing trades. Well, the market is at a point now to where there are several, if not a whole lot of pairs that are positioning themselves in order for, if you trade supply and demand especially. Let me show y'all some of them. And I already have them marked up because I've been looking. Okay, so gold. Gold was trending up. If it was a gold or one of the other pairs. Gold was trending up, but if you see here on the weekly, there's that triple top up there. So what I wanted to see with gold was whether it was going to break the current area when it went up to this high. Let's go down here on the weekly, y'all. I don't really mark up the weekly, but I look at the weekly because it tells me a lot about the past. I'm looking at the triple touch here, and since this is a weekly, I'll look at that and I'll notice that the trend is still trending upward. Well, what I want to look at next to see if this area here is going to be broken. So when I drop down to my daily, I see, hey, is it still trending up? It started trending up, and then it did the pullback, and then it went up again, a small pullback, and it's just kind of creeping up. It did some consolidation here on the daily, and then it went up to that high that it was previously at on the weekly the past 2 times. So I'll look and I'll drop down some more because I see that it went up. It kind of dropped down a little below that previous low. And I have a double bottom here on the daily. But I also see once I drop down to my 4 hour, which is that's where I get my bias for what I'm going to trade for that intraday or the scalp. So when I'm looking at the 4 hour, the trend is currently going I would say let's throw some indicator, and if y'all know me, y'all know my indicators are the 50 and the 200. So let's throw my indicator on, and the indicator is telling me this is the 200. So it's telling me that it's kind of trying to do the uptrend thing, but it's also breaking below. So what I saw was a volume. It's a volume that shot down yesterday. This was between 5 a.m. and 9 a.m. So gold moves, I noticed, between 4 in the morning and 9 in the morning. It does some pretty cool stuff. So if you can track it, and then in the afternoon between 1 and 3. If you can track it, okay, so then when I got my bias, I dropped down to the 1 hour, and that presented me with a supply. Only because previously it broke below this here level. It broke between the lower low, the higher low, I'm sorry, the previous higher low. So it broke below this, so I was trying to see if there was some liquidity that it was trying to grab. And there's a liquidity swing indicator that I put on as well. So it's going to show you all of the liquidity, well, most of it, but you still need to know liquidity because the indicators aren't the end all be all. You need to know your charts. You need to learn to read your candlesticks, and you need to know your charts. So what I did is drop down to the 1 hour, and I saw that there was liquidity that was created here, but there's also an imbalance in this area. Look at that, y'all. The typical trader will be like, yum, 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 yum. So it has to fill these imbalances. So what I was thinking was, if I drop down to the 30-minute and I drew my supply up here, because I anticipated it's breaking above the 200 on the lower time frames, but I was anticipating whether or not it was going to break this 200 and actually go ahead and go up, or actually respect that area and continue down. So I'm watching gold, y'all. I love gold. I don't know, for those of you that don't trade it or just don't like it, familiarize yourself with gold, because to me gold is so simple and straightforward. I like simple and straightforward. I do still have my supply area drawn up here, and like I showed y'all how to use the parallel channels and to tell if it was going to break. But if you notice, sometimes we look for those trend line breaks and then a retest. It doesn't always happen immediately. You see how it's trying to slowly creep back up to that retest, but it's also meeting that imbalance in between. So, and look at all this liquidity sitting up here, y'all. So there's a lot to be desired for gold the upcoming week. Stick with me. I'll teach you how I move. I can't say how others move, but I try to make my trading as simple as possible so that even the newest trader can understand it. So if y'all can stick with my channel, subscribe, hit that notification bell so when I upload videos you'll be notified, and I hope y'all have a good rest of the weekend. I'm gonna go out, enjoy my weekend, and do some things with my family. Until next time, y'all, peace out.